quickly jump right into what we have for today. Okay, so last week, can someone just quickly remind me what we learned last week? A few things that we learned last week. I think the last meeting was on Sunday, right? Everyone is quiet. Okay, so let's all be quiet. Okay, yeah, that's true. Oh, we forgotten. We all forgotten. Okay. Oh, we didn't join. Which one?
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. So from what we've learned so far, what can you remember? What are some things that you can remember? Someone says split. Okay, yeah, very true. We learned about split. But where do you remember that we stopped? So I can continue from there. I can also do a quick revision of the last class and can start today's class. Do we learn split? You guys were not in this class. I think it was last week I taught split. Were you in class when we looked at splits? Or transpose? Okay. Or drop down, how to create drop downs? No. All right. So that's fine. I'll quickly run through that today. I think you're too far. Why are you joining? Joining him. It's good to stay close to him so you can see what he's doing. And it can also give you an opportunity to use the system. Hello. Are you the only one there? Okay, so I guess we're good. Okay, so as my usual custom, I like to introduce myself all the time. So my name is first stop in the head. So my name is Seyi Hassan. I'm the coordinator for this class. I'm taking data analysis using Excel. If you're not following me on LinkedIn, you're wrong. I'll be saying it in the beginning of this class. Go and follow me on LinkedIn. Yeah, all right. And then you see my real face. Yeah. So we've learned a few things. I think maybe what some of the things you might remember is we learned about summarize, we learned about count. Do you remember all of those things? Yeah, so those are basically basics of Excel, right? So what we're doing now is we're actually building based on the basics that we've learned in the previous class. So last week we looked at a few other things. We looked at splits. So quickly, I'll run through it. So I'll be very fast, so you need to follow me. Can you see my screen? Those online, can you see my screen? You can't see my screen. Okay. All right. No problem. That's fine. Is it better? All right. So, yes, now I'm doing okay. All right. Yes. Okay, so I'm actually doing a recap of the last class, the things that I taught in the last class, but I'll try and be a little bit fast. So please bear with me because we have a lot to cover. So yeah, so when we talk about splits, basically what I mean by split is if you have, let's say you have first name and the person's surname in the same cell, and you need to separate it. How do you go about separating? That's what we mean by splits, right? So now in this case, you can say we have first name or the email address, and the email address follows the syntax of the first name. Then you have a full stop, you have the last name @contosol.com. Are we good? Can we see that? Yeah, so now we want to extract the first name and the last name by separating it. So that's what I mean by split. Do you understand that? Yeah, so we want the first name to be in this column, and then we want the last name to be in this column. Is that okay? Is anyone confused? Yeah, so we want the first name to be in this column right here. So we want Nancy to be here, and we want the last name, which is Smith, to be under last name. So that's what we're trying to achieve. Yeah, so to split, wait, sorry, before I even move to split, do you remember how to join? Forgotten how to join. How to join two cells together. So let's say we have Bola and we have Tinubu. Who can help me join Bola and Tinubu in this cell? Learned it, right? Uh-uh. We did. I wish showed us two approach, right? That we can get to do it. This from like three class. You merge it together. So how do you merge? Uh-huh. Then what do I do next? I click on merge. Okay, no, let's try it now. Let's try and see. She said I should highlight both and click on merge. Did it work? Wait. No, let's try the first one. Did it work? Did it work? Do we have Bola and Tinubu together? Thank you. So that approach will work. Who wants to try? So try it. Go on. Yeah, you. So how do we do it? So another type of merge, okay? I should select again, please. Can you show me? This is the only merge I know. You show me the other type of merge. All right, so let's look for it. Where is it? So this is the merge I know. Which other one? Say there's a drop. I should merge and center. Is that what we did now? That's what we just did. Thank you very much. So someone online has gotten it. Can we remember this? You can't see it. Okay. So Cyril, thank you very much. It looks like it's only Cyril that's in my class. Can you see it now? Equal to F5 and for the ampersand, then G5. Oh, and G5. So let's do it together. There are two ways. The first way is concatenate, and the second approach is using the AND function or ampersand. So that's equal to Bola, which is F5, the ampersand. We want a space in between. Remember, we'll put it in double quotes, space, double quotes, and G5. Do you remember this? Do you learn this? Do you remember doing this in class? Equal to F5 and space and G5. So that becomes Bola and space and Tinubu. Do you remember? In double quotes. Double quotes, space, double quotes, yes, before and. Sorry? For the space between Bola and Tinubu. Yeah. So can I go on? Yeah. Also, do you remember how to join a text and date together when they're in two different formats? I thought that too. I also start charging some people in this class for repeating. But let's give it a try. Do you remember? If we have the date today. So let's. Sorry. So now I wanted to read, someone will help me, I'll point on, the person will come and help us out. So I wanted to read, today is, then the date in one cell. I want today is, and then this date in just one cell. Who can help us out? What was the plan? Very class. Very class. Very class. Very class. Very class. Are you sure? What was the Yeah, so now I have today is, which is the text, and I have the date. So I want you to read today is. You have that one to read in the same cell. Relate it, I got it. Go. So in class. Go to try it. At least give it a try. Now we don't learn how to join two texts together. Somebody wants to try it. Okay, those online, is anyone else to try it? Okay, yeah, try it, yeah. Okay, because of time, let's do it together. Are we watching? Yes. All right. So equal to G5. And so now I want to, let's have a column after today is, so how will I introduce the column? Who wants to help me out? Double quotes, thank you. Double quotes, then I'll put my column right, space and double quotes. And so what next? Thank you very much. So you know, why did you say it now? Why did you come to try? So we have text, right? Open brackets, then what next? F5, comma, what next? What's the format? Are we confused? Yes. Okay, so let's go back. Let me explain. So when you have, so now this is a text, right? And then this is the date. So they're in two different formats. So when trying to merge cells in two different formats, you have to convert either a date, if it was a time, you have to convert it so that it appears as a text. If it's a date, it needs to look, it needs to, Excel needs to interpret it as a text. So we'll use the text function to convert it to like a text, so it appears as a text, then we merge it together. Is that fine? Yeah, so that's why we introduced the text function. Does that make any sense? But we'll use the ampersand to join it. Remember the ampersand or the and function is used in, sorry, the and is used in joining two texts together. Is that okay? So that's what we're doing. So that will be equal to today and what's next? So tell me. So we're joining this and this together. So it will be G5 and what? Double quotes. And yeah, so what next? So text, open brackets. So now let's look at the argument. What's the first argument? What's it asking for? The first argument, what is it asking for? How is it? Okay, type it on your system, text. Then tell me what the first argument is. Okay, I just put the code. Sorry. Yeah, I put a column. So I want it to appear as today is the column before the date. So that's why I'm introducing this column. So what's next? Who wants to help me out? What's the next? What's the first argument then? If you type it on your system, you'll see it. What's that? What's that? Value. Can we see value? What's the value? What's the value? All right, so half of the class is confused. Let's go back to when we learned this thing. So I'm going to recap on that. Let me go back. That was like 3 classes ago. Sorry, 1 second. Let me open it. Okay. So this was when we learned it. Do you remember this? So if I want to join Nancy and Smith together, how do I join it? Help me out. How do I join? I don't show us now. So how do I do it? Tell me. Equal to Yes. And D3. Yeah. So we've joined it together, right? But we need a space. So how do I introduce the space? Sorry? Thank you. Double quotes, space, double quote, right? Then and. So do we have Nancy and Smith? Do we have Nancy Smith? Yes. So how do I join Andy and Not together? Can you tell me? Equal to C4, yeah. What next? And double quote space, double quote, yeah. What next? Is it D4? Are you sure? Look at it very well. After the double quote, what do I put? Thank you very much. Yes, and D4. Is that correct? So what's the next one? So we want to join Jack and quotas together. How do I do it? Equal to C5 and
Sorry, sir, we can't see your screen.
double quote space, double quote. Thank you very much. D5. Let's go again. What's the next one?
Sir, please, you can't see the screen.
D6 and yeah, and
Hello, sir, please hold on. We can't see your screen.
Thank you very much. So now I want for the 7th one. So for the next one, let's have Stephen hyphen.
We can't see anything, sir. We can't
How
see
do we do it
anything.
together? Is it tough? How do you pronounce that? Tope. Okay, Tope. So we want Stephen hyphen Tope. Can we do it together? Can we give it a try? Okay, let's do it. So tell me what to do. Equal to C7 and double quotes, yeah. Hyphen, double quotes, and D7.
Sir, we are totally lost here. We can't see your screen.
Not sharing. Oh, sorry. Ah. Sorry. Okay, so those online, apologies about that. I didn't even realize I was not sharing. You can't see. Sorry. So let's continue. Okay, so now let's give it a try. So the next one, Michael and how did we get these names? Nappy. Okay, Michael and Nappy. So now this time let's have Michael. What can we put in between? So I want Michael, then double hyphen in between. So I want hyphen and then a space and another hyphen before Napier. Can we do it together? So let's give it a try. Let's go. Equal to C8 and double quotes, hyphen, space, hyphen, double quotes first, and D8. Thank you very much. So do we have it? Okay, let's do it again. So now Robert and Zare. So let's do it. Equal to C9 and double quotes, hyphen, space, hyphen, double quotes, and D9. Thank you very much. So do you understand the concept of the double quotes? Yeah. So anything you want to put within the double quotes basically just appears just the way you put it. So if you want to have maybe a number, after, you can also do that too. Just put it in double quotes and then you have the number appearing after. So the last name is, what do we have there? Yvonne. Yvonne and Mickey. All right, so now let's merge it together. How do we do it? So this time, let's have a number after. Let's have 29 after. So this time I want Yvonne, space, Mackey, hyphen 29. So which means Yvonne is 29, something like that. Can we do it together? Are we ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Equal to, yeah? Remember, you always start with an equal to. All right, so let's go. C10, yeah? And double quotes, space, double quotes, and D10. Because stop, okay. Double quotes, like that. Thank you very much. And double quotes, hyphen 29. Okay, very good. So let's put, sorry. So now let's put a space between the hyphen and 29, right? So double quotes. Any other thing? Enter. Do you get it? Do we understand? Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. All right. So now we want Yvonne. What's that? Mickey. Yvonne Mickey hyphen 29. That we want to do. Like Yvonne is 29. So we want Yvonne Mickey hyphen 29. Can we do it? So let's do it now. Equal to C10. And double quotes, yeah, space, double quotes, and D10, and
Double quotes,
double quotes, yeah,
space,
hyphen,
hyphen, yeah.
space, 29. Okay, let's go again. After the and, what should I put? So this is Yvonne, this is space, this is Mackey. So what should come after? And then what should come after? Double quotes. Double quotes. Hyphen. Space. 29. Then double quotes. Do we agree? Who disagrees before I press enter? Let's know if we'll get an error or not. Who disagrees or who has a different opinion? All right, so this is how it appears. So do we now understand how to join two texts together? Do we understand this? Any questions so far? Those online, any question? Who's confused? Who's confused? What if you have something like Itafe or Kunko? Oh, sorry, that's somebody else. Okay. So Cyril, I'm waiting for you. Any questions so far? Okay, so while we wait for Cyril's question, so now let's try something. So who wants to give it a try before I type it? Who's bold enough to step up? I want to put an example there. I want someone to try it quickly before we move on to the next thing. Want to give it a try? All right. And come forward. Do you want to give it a try? So who wants to try the example? Before I type it, I want someone to first boldly step up. It's pretty simple now, right? Yeah, so someone should boldly step up. Don't worry, I'll be here to guide you. So if you make a mistake, I'll correct you. But who would like to try? Okay, so we're going to try this example. So someone asked a question. What if you have something like Romeo Juliet? Hello, let's listen. So someone is asking, what if you have Romeo and Juliet, and what inserts John in between Romeo and Juliet? How do we give that a try? Or how do we do that? Thank you very much. So now let's give that a try. So who wants to try that? We have Romeo, we have Juliet. But I want to be equal. So I want to have Romeo, John, Juliet in one cell. How do I do it? Thank you very much. Come and help us out. There is no John there, but he wants us to put John in between. How do we do that? So we wanted to read Romeo, John, Juliet. How do we do it? What's your name? Kemi. Okay. So Kemi is helping us try. Oh, that's nice.
No, space. Okay. No.
No. The double quote is not. This is the okay. Not single quote. So, so how do you? This is single quote. Sorry? You got it? Did she get it? Okay, thank you very much. Can we clap for her? And let's clap for her now. All right, so thank you very much, Kemi. So that was a great try. So do we understand this? Yes. Romeo, Juliet, okay. How do you do it? Romeo, Juliet, and so, Cyril, hope this answers it. What she did. Yes.
No, that's not what I mean. What I meant is, like, can you hear me?
Press enter.
Hello? Hello, sir.
Cyril, hope that answers your question.
No. My question is, can you hear me? Hello, sir.
Okay, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my question is, if the Romeo and Juliet is in double quotes, so how do you get to put John before the Romeo inside the double quote?
Okay, I'm not very clear. So do we have Romeo in a cell, or do we have John in a cell, or we don't have any of them in a cell at all?
No, like double quotes. That is the quotation, like you are quoting Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, you want to quote the Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, then put John before the Romeo.
Oh, okay, all right. So, okay, I think I understand your question. So now we want Romeo and Juliet in double quotes, and then we want John and John after, right? All right, so this is, so let's do it.
John before the Romeo.
I still want John before the Romeo. All right.
Yes.
So we're going to do equal to, so first, John in double quote and, so we're going to have and, so that is John and, then you said Romeo and Juliet, right? So I'm going to put and, then Romeo and space and Juliet. I hope you'll be able to understand what I've done when I'm done. And, sorry, and so, oh, what did I do here? It's okay, yes. Where is, so is it something like this? Okay, let me put, this something like this. John and Romeo and Juliet, right? Cyril.
Okay. Romeo and Juliet is in double like that. And it's after John. I said just the way that your last Romeo and Juliet is in quotation.
Yes.
Yes, insert that John before the Romeo. Still inside quotation. Let me see.
To put the John before the Romeo. And
Yes, that double quotation.
okay, I'm not actually very clear, but if you want, depending on the position you want, it's just all about controlling where you want it to appear. So if you want it to appear, before the Romeo, because we're already having John and Romeo and Juliet, so it's already appearing before. Or can you just type out how you want it to appear? Type it out how you want it to appear, and then I'll know what to do. I'm not very clear again. Exactly what you're trying to achieve. Okay, so just type it out on the chat box, then I'll try and see if I can replicate it. Is that fine? Yes. So moving on. Yeah, so Siri, just type it. Once I say it, then we'll go back and quickly give it a try. Yeah. All right, so moving on. Let's try and join the text and the numbers together. So we wanted to read today's date is this together. So to read today's date is 12th of 02, 2023. Can we give that a try? So I wanted to read today's date is 12/02, 2023. So we have today's date, right? Which is 2nd of December, right? Yeah, so I wanted to read in one cell. Today's date is 2nd of December in just one cell. Can we give it a try? All right, so tell me what to do. Okay, I think I showed us this morning, right? Or this afternoon. Equal to C28, yeah. Yes. Double quotes. Space. Column. What we introducing the column? Today's date already has a column. So which means we're having column. So do we need the column? Thank you. We don't need the color. All right. So what next? Double quotes. Yes. What next? And space. Anything you say, eh? Is this space or text? What am I typing next? Thank you very much. Text. Who wants to help me? Why we write text? Why text? Why not and D28?
Because you are merging your text.
But I'm merging what you're saying. You're correct. Just say it. Because I'm merging what? Thank you very much. Yes, because they're in both in different formats. This is the text format, this is the date format. Does that make any sense? So because they're both in different formats. Do you understand? Yeah, but if it was a text, you don't need to use text again. Somebody is confused. She's confused. You're so confused. Ask a question. Okay, yes, ask.
Can you say your magic words and numbers? Can you do that way?
Yes. Yeah, words and numbers. That works. Okay, so ask. Ask your question. You just don't understand everything.
Yes.
So the
Yeah,
previous
no.
slide that we did, do you understand? Okay.
That no understand, sir.
Do you understand too? All right. So now let's go back to our normal mesh. So now we have these two. So we have Nancy. We have Nancy in C3, right?
Yes.
We have Smith in D3. They are two different cells, right? We want to merge them in one cell. I said there are two ways. The first method is using concatenate, and then the second method is using the ampersand, which is AND. So now let's look at using AND. So you always start with an equal to. When writing either a formula or a function, it always starts with an equal to. So equal to Nancy. So Nancy is in what cell? Can you tell me? C3, right? So we're referencing C3. So equal to, I'll click on C3. Are we good? Yes. So now remember I'm merging Nancy and Smith. That's where I said I'm merging Nancy and Smith. So it's going to be Nancy and, so Smith is in what cell? D3. I select D3 and I press enter. So do you understand how I merged it?
Yes.
Yeah. But there's something wrong. We need a space in between, right? So how do we introduce a space? Yeah. So that's the way we said it. That way I usually say Nancy and space and Smith. So that's the same way we're going to type it. We're going to write it. So equal to, so tell me what would be the first one? C3 and so space, right? So the question, how do we introduce this space? So we're going to put it in double quotes. Yes, not single quotes, 2 times, or double quotes. Yes, and double quote, that is shift double quote. Then I'll put my space, and then I'm going to close my double quotes. So now I have my space. So what is going to be next? So we have Nancy and space. What is next? And what? Why is it and D3? Thank you very much. So, and what? Smith, right? Smith. Do you understand this? Do you want to try it again? Let's try again, the next one. So call it out. So just call it out. Can you see it?
No, I can't see.
Can you see it? Okay, come here. No, you come closer. Just for the second one. Okay, can see it. Okay, all right. So tell me what you do. So it's Andy and not right. So tell me how I'll start. Thank you very much. Equal to. Is this C3?
C4, sorry.
Sorry, yeah. Okay, C4, yes.
Space.
Is this space? So let's give us some time. And okay, we shift 7 and
double quote.
double quotes,
Yes. And
space, thank you very much.
then double quote.
Double quotes, yes. Oh, double quotes. Remember it's Andy.
And
We've done space, and what's next?
D4.
Thank you very much. And D4. What next? That's all, thank you. Enter. So do you understand? Do you get it? Yeah. So try the other ones on your system. Let's see if you get it. So are we all on the same page? Those online, are we good now? So if you have Romeo and Juliet in double quotes in one cell, then you will need to first split it before you merge it together. Yeah, so when we're looking at the next class, that's for serial. Yeah, so when we're looking at the how to split, then I'll use that as an example. So you can't just merge it together because it's already seen as a unit. So you have to break up the unit first before you actually merge it together again, and then you can insert your job. I hope that actually makes sense. Yeah, so serial, that's what we'll do. So we'll give it a try when we look at splits, right? Yeah. All right, so now, do we understand how to join? Yeah, so now we understand how to join two texts together, right? Remember, it's text. That's why it's easy to just put your ampersand. But when you're not joining a text and a date, the approach is a little bit different. So are we good? So now we want to have today's date is, and then we'll have the actual date, 2nd of December. Can we give it a try?
Yes, sir.
Are we together?
Yes, sir.
You just call me too. Why you just call me? Are you sure you just called me? I saw you earlier this morning. Oh, okay. So let's give it a try. So let's try using the same approach we'll be using. So equal to, what will I reference? C28, yes. And yes. So double quote, let's have our space. And so this time we're going to use the text function, right? So that it appears as a text. So that's text, open brackets. So text basically is a function name. Yes, so text is the function name, and then we'll have the open brackets. The first argument is the value. So the value refers to the date that we're trying to convert. So we're going to reference the date, which is D28, comma. Then the next is what? What's it asking us for? The format text. So the format text basically is what format do you want it to appear? Remember, it's a date. We want it to appear as though it's a text, but we want it to appear in a certain format, right? Yes. So we want it to appear as, so what comes first? Is it the month of the year or the day? The first one is what? Month. A month basically is represented in Excel as MM. Not MMM, MM. So I put double quotes first. So I first start with the double quotes. Are we watching? Then I have MM, standing for months. Then we have a forward slash. What's next? The day. Day is DD. Forward slash. And what comes last? The year, which is YY. So if you put YY 4 times, basically it means we want the year in full. That'll be 2023. But if we just put YY, it will only appear as 23. So which one should we put? YY. All right. So double quotes. Then I close my double quotes. Now let's take it. Let's take a little minute to go through it. Let's look at it and ask any question you want to ask now. Take your time to go through it and look at what we've done. I've not pressed enter, so if you have any question or you're confused about anything, let me know quickly. You don't understand? Close bracket. Thank you very much. I've closed the brackets. Any question? Okay. All right, so she's asking a very good question. Why are we going through this process? Let me explain. So you would appreciate this if you don't understand. So watch what happens. Equal to today's date and space and the date. Press enter. What do we notice? Sorry? It's not online. It's not in order. But there's something wrong with it. What's wrong with it? We have a number, right? 45262. Why is that? Why do you think we're having a number there? So basically, sorry? And that's the reason why we're introducing the text. So what happens really is, because so when it's trying to merge it together, it's going to use a text format to merge it. So it's basically viewing this date as a text. So it's almost like it's converted it to a text. I don't know if that makes any sense. So see what happens when we change this format. So if I click on date, what can we see at the top here? You can see the format as date, right? So let's change it to a text. Let's see what happens, how it appears. Oh, sorry. See how it appears. When you open your Excel and you see your date appearing like this, who has seen this before happen? Can you see my screen? You can see the screen. So basically, this is a date, right, that we inputted into the cell, right? Do we agree? Yes. So if this date is formatted as, let's say we wanted to type a date, but that cell is formatted as maybe a text, this is how it's going to appear. That's why we're having the numbers. Does that make any sense? So if we just merge it together, it's going to convert it to a text and it's going to appear in this number format. But we don't want it to appear in a number format like this because this is not correct, right? We want it to appear in a date format. So that's why we introduce the text function. So the text function basically allows you to maintain that format, but allows Excel to view it as a text. Does that make any sense? Any question? Well, you'd understand as we go on. All right, so now let's convert this back to date. So I'm going to return it back to date. So now you can see that the format is a date. Is that fine? Is this fine? So now let's merge them together. Equal to C28 and we'll put our space and text, open bracket, D28, comma here, double quotes, we'll put it in double quotes, MM/DD. And so you can either put YY or YY.
A close bracket.
Thank you very much. So now we have today's date is this. Is that fine? Is it too much information? Sorry? No, it's not. Hope we're learning something. It's not working. Okay, only on my system. What's only on my system? So So, what do you think is wrong? Thank you very much. So now looking at the system. So any question? Does anyone have any issues? What of this new work? So can we try the time? Wow. Okay, let's try it together because it might give you a little bit of an issue. So let's do it together. So tell me what to do. Equal to, so what we want current time is 2:51. So equal to, tell me, talk to me. C29 and double quotes. You like column.
I saw calling.
But there's already a column, so let me say introduce a column again. Yeah. Space then, and what's next? Double quotes. Yeah, what's next? And what's next? Text. So what's that time? All right, open brackets. What's next? Okay, D29, comma, yes. Open bracket again. Double quotes. Let me help you. Okay. So now follow the format. What's the format here? What's the format? No, here we did months, MM,
slash forward.
and then we did the year. But in this case, what do we have? So this one online is already saying it. So what do we have first?
Slash forward.
So what will our be? What will our be? Age. So it's age. Very good. So what's next? There's something before the minute. Remember we did MN / column, your column. Ah. So ahead. Is it 1 minute? M is okay. All right. So what's next? So this time it's going to be AM/PM. And then double quotes. And close brackets. This should be HH, this should be ML. But wait, let me see if 1M and 1H will work. I've not tried 1M and 1H before. Okay. So, are we good? I should go back again. When you guys don't accept it now? You're guessing. Okay, all right. So you guys did a good guess. So that's it. You have any question? You understand? Yes, sir. I think we have some recordings online. So cannot get it. No, this is not what we have for today. This is more of a revision. We've not started today's class. So please let's go fast so we can start with this class. Can I go on? Can I go on? Okay, ask. You have a question. Sorry? The number of the time. Okay, it comes before the text. And you convert it first now before you put the text. Yes, no? So this time you start with equal to text. So let me also teach you something interesting. So if you have the date, do you know you can get this hello one house? If you have a date, you can get the exact day that date appears. Do you know you can do that? Using the text function. So let's do it together. Do we understand? So the exact day, when does this day fall on? Fall on a Saturday. So now we want to get the exact day. We want it to show Saturday. Actually, one of your projects, one of the assignments I'll give you that. So now let's do it together. So you use the text function to do it. Why are you guys surprised? Are you not going to write a project? No. All right, so equal to text, open bracket, you reference D8, D28, comma. The only thing that's changing is the format. And the format will become D, 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 D. Close. Saturday. If you want D for the day, so it shows you the day of the week. If you want the month, this particular day, like December, what do you think it will be? Thank you very much. Okay. So this is it. So we want to get the particular day, a particular date falls on. Right? So equal to text, open bracket, we reference the date, comma, and then we'll put the format. And in this case, the format is the day, which is DDDD. Yes. If you have just 3D, what do you think will happen? Who wants to guess? If we put only 3D, what will happen? Do you want to find out? No? We put 2. What do you think will happen if we put 2? Who wants to try? No, it will be S and T. It will give us the particular day, which is second. Second. So do we understand? So if we want to get the month, it's the same thing. So what's the month? December. So you want to find out the day they gave birth to you, can just put your date of birth and use the text and to give you the exact day they gave birth to you. And want to get the time, good luck to you. So is this fine? Sorry? What's that? Yes. Yeah. What do you call? Saturday, December 2023. Yeah, so you can use the text. You just introduce the text. So the text and to do text, they not try it. Okay, so someone said, what if we wanted to read Saturday? Right? How did you put it? Saturday, December 2023. Oh yeah, so if you want something like that, you can just change the format. Also, H, someone has a question online. H stands for hours, M stands for minutes. And then AM stands for, so I did AM/PM because we're looking at the, is it 12-hour clock they use? They call it, yeah, 12-hour clock. So that's why. But I'm going to show you how I get this format. It's not rocket science. I didn't pull it out of my pocket. So are we watching? So if you want to see the different formats, these are the formats and how they appear. So in case you're trying to look for a particular format, all you need to do is to come to your cursor and see how it appears. For example, the hours. How do you get there? I said look up. Are we looking up now? Okay. You're not seeing. So this drop down and more numbers and formats. Oh, under your own tab, yeah, click on this small arrow key. Number format. More number formats. I went to more number formats. Have you seen it? Have you seen the more number format? Yes. So click on it. And then you can now go to custom. Then you see the different formats. So the one we used was this one. You can see HMM/PM. So that's where you get this format, the different format from. So you can use any of the formats depending on what you're trying to achieve. So this is what you were asking for. Right? Saturday, December 2nd, 2023. So you can also change the format and you have Saturday, December 2023. Is that okay? Sunday. And check your dates now. Are you sure? Are you sure? So, what is it? Set up first. The format is equal to each of what is it? So are we good? Are we good? Any questions so far? So can we move on? So now let's move on to so let's move on to what we have for today. Or sorry, what we learned last week. We've never taught what we did last week. So do we remember if statements? Do you remember the if statement? Do you remember the if statement? Did we do the if statement? If statement. Hey, it's not easy. It's not easy for you, it's not easy for me, which of them? All right, so so I'll quickly touch on the if statement, but I won't spend too much time on the if statement. So for the if statement allows you to carry out or make logical comparison, right? Are you with me? So the if statement is used in making logical comparison. For example, there's one common example I use is, in this class, we can either have two types of gender, right? Right? You can have those two types of gender, male or female. So you're either a male or a female, right? Yes. So it's almost the same thing with if statement. We can either have a false or a true. Right? For example, if I'm to ask you what's your name? Chinedu. Chinonso. So Chinonso, are you male? Are you male? Yes or no? Yes. No. So it can either be yes or no. Some think she's male. Right? So it can either be yes or no. It's the same thing when you're dealing with if statement. It can either be true or false. So they're either male or you are female if you live in Nigeria. Right? You know, in some countries, some people are not sure. Is she? Yeah, some people are is she, he. Yeah. So it's the same thing with the if statement. So when you're making logical comparison, you use different operators rather, to compare. So if you're comparing two things, either one thing is equal to the other thing, or one thing is greater than the other thing, or one thing is what? Less than, or one thing is greater than or equal to, or it is less than or equal to, or it is not equal to, right? Exactly. So I'm going to list out the operators, right? So it is either greater than, can you call it out for me, or what? Less than, or what? Or equal to, or greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to. So do we understand this? So this sign stands for greater than. Less than. Which one?
It's like this, and then it's slash.
Okay, please can you show me my system? Okay, yes, so yes, it's not in school. That's what you learn. But when inputting it on system, yeah, computer language, thank you. So when inputting it on system, basically is less than, greater than. That's the sign for not equal to, yeah. Less than, greater than. That's the sign for not equal to. Equal to, and then you put forward slash, then you cancel the not equal to. Yeah. So this sign stands for greater than. Can we see it? This is when it comes to seeing, those online are better or have better advantage. Yeah? They see better. They see more. All right. So those online, they say you guys see more. All right. So we have greater than, right? So this is the sign for greater than. This is the sign for less than. This is the sign for equal to. You can't see it. And you're wearing glasses. Okay. All right. So those online now will be struggling to see because it's so close for them. So this is the sign for greater than. And to get it is shift. Can you see it on your keyboard? If you see it, let me see your hands up. Have you seen it on the keyboard? After M, you have less than, and you have greater than. Have you seen it after letter M? Yeah. So then the next is what? Less than. So that's just immediately after M. Then you have equal to, where you have your backspace before the backspace. Have you seen it? Yes. Then the next is greater than or equal to. See the way I wrote it? Greater than or equal to. Is that fine? Then the next is less than or equal to. Then the last is not equal to. Is that okay? Do you understand this? Do you understand this? Okay. So now let's give it an example. So let's try. What is the format? So the format or the syntax rather is equal to if. So if is the function name. Remember, it's always equal to function name, open bracket, argument, and always ends with a close bracket. So equal to, then the function name is what? If. Open bracket. Then the first is logical text. So the logical text basically is where you do the comparison, right? So we have apples. Okay, now let me first create, before I do this, let's say name. I want to quickly create a table. Name and gender. So is that Chisom, right? Chinonso. I just know that the spelling. It's N, right? Chinonso. Or like this. Oh, Chinonso. All right. Chinonso is what? Who else again do we have in class? Do you have any Aisha? Aisha. Okay. So Aisha, male or female? Okay. The guy is Oluwaseyi. Okay. Male. What's the name? Samuel. Male. All right. What's the name, bro? Ahmad. Is that man male or female? Then I didn't answer. I'm giving him. Sorry? He didn't respond now, so. Huh? Oh, Ahmad, not Ahmed.
He's not saying that gender is male and not female.
He didn't answer now, so we gave him male. We gave him female rather. Oh, all right, so now I want to confirm if Chinonso is female or male, right? So we want true or false. So what is situation where if the person is, sorry, okay, let's find out if Chinonso is female. If open brackets, if open brackets, so equal to if is a function name. The first thing is the logical test. So the logical test now is H7. If H7 is equal to female, so I want to show where if the gender is female, it should show true. If the gender is male, okay, no, if the gender is female, it should show girl. If the gender is male, it should show boy. Do you understand? So if the gender is female, we want to show girl. If the gender is male, we want to show boy. Are we okay? Yes. So if H7 is female, comma, so it's asking us if value is true, what should it show? So if it's female, what should it show? Girl, right? So I'm putting it in double quotes. Girl. But if it's false, which means the person is automatically a boy, right? So, comma, value if false. If the value is false, what does it mean? It means the gender is what? Male, right?
Yes.
Very confused. So if the gender is female, what is to show girl, right? But if the gender is not female, which means the gender is automatically male, right? So it should show what? Boy. Thank you. Boy. Remember I put it in double quotes. Don't forget. And then I close my bracket and press enter. So if I drag it down, what do we have? So how many boys do we have? How many girls do we have? So do we understand this? How the if statement works? Let's do it again. Okay. So do we understand this? Shame boy only. So you need to select the gender. Do you understand? Any question? Any question? Any question? Okay. So now let's try another example. So what other example can we try? Someone should give me an example. Okay, now let's try the one we have here. So let's say we want to determine if, so if it's apple, we want to say yes, but if it's orange, we want to say no. let's say we want to do that. We want to determine, or let's say if, okay, so we want to show yes if it's apple, or we want to show no if it's orange, right? So tell me what I'll do. Equal to if, open bracket. So the logical test is C9 if it's apple, if it's equal to apple, right? So I'll put it in double quotes, apple, and I close it. Then comma. So this is a logical test. If C9 is equal to apple, then what I want to show? Yes, right? So double quotes, yes, comma, double quotes, no. So if it's not apple, it will show no. So is it apple? Yes. But if I drag it down, no. Seriously, Simon, yes. Sorry. So do we understand? So those online, do we understand? This is quite simple. We'll still try some more complex ones. Showing boy, reload. So what did you reference? Do you reference the gender or reference the name? Right? Why? Is the gender a reference? Okay, so let me click on it. So what did I reference? Yeah. What's happening? Gender. So remember you're comparing something together. If H5 is female, where do we have female? We have it female. We have the name female. We have female. So we have female gender. So comparing this. So this will be so comparing female. You're confused?
Yes.
Okay, let me look for another example. I'm trying to look for something very easy and straightforward. Is there any example that I can use? Let me think of maybe something I've done myself. Okay, yes. Okay, so I think I'll need to sit down with this. So now I want to quickly create a table. Let's watch. Let me use another example. So let's say we have name and we have age. So give me some names. So we have name, age, and then we have age group. So give me some names.
Ada,
Dada.
Ada,
So Ada. Ada. Then we have Mercy. Which other name?
James,
Joy. James. John. Jacob. Jeremiah. Let's be going with J. Maya. Portable. Whiskey.
Kiss Daniel,
Daniel. How do you spell Timmy?
T-I-M-I.
Okay, Timmy. Yeah. Joke. Okay, so
Sylvia.
that's good. So I think we have a good. So how old is Ada? Give me some numbers.
21.
20, 15,
18.
18, 35, 50 is John. How old is Jacob? 28.
45.
Jeremiah is 35. Portable is how old?
25.
Are you sure? It's 70. Oh. Whiskey is how old? 30. All right. Daniel is how old? 55. Okay. Timmy is how old? 2 years.
32.
Joker is how old? 32. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to group them. Let's say you are giving this data set, you have the names and you have the age. I want to maybe categorize them based on maybe teenagers, young adults, and so let's say, okay, teenagers, young adults, and elderly. Can we do that? So we want to group them into teenagers, young adult, and elderly. So let's make Timmy 15. So now so we're going to have how many categories? Three categories. So with the if statement, you can easily group them into these categories. So that's one of the use of the if statement. Is that fine? Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what's the age bracket first? We need to first define our age bracket. So what's our age bracket first? What are the people that will consider teenagers? What do people consider teenagers? Smaller age. Like from
From
what?
15 years.
From 13 to 19. So 13 to 19, 20, 19. So let's say 13 to 20. So 13 to 20 are what? Teenagers, right? Do we agree?
Teens.
Okay.
Teens.
So young adults, what are we to categorize as young adults? 21 to what?
35.
35. Okay. So 21 to 35 are young adults. Then 36 to
70.
70. Or let's say 36 and above. Elderly. Do you have any elderly in the house?
Yes.
Who?
Yes. Me.
Me. All right, so we have some elderly in the room. That's great. So, huh? All right, so can you see my screen? Yes. Any question? No. Can I go on?
No.
All right, let us wait for the screen to come on. Okay, so can you see the grouping here? So between 13 and 20, teenagers, 21 and 35, young adults, 36 and above are elderly. Is that fine?
Yeah.
All right. So now I want to write the if statements. So if what will be the logical test? The age, right, which is L7. So if L7 is what? So remember the logical operators there. So which of them are we to use? No, we'll have to start. So what we'll do, we'll start from teenagers. We'll first define those that fall under teenagers, then those that fall under young adults, then those that fall under the elderly. So starting from teenagers, if L7 is what? Is it equal to? Don't you think it's less than or equal to? Sorry? Equal to what? No, first there needs to be a comparison. So what are we comparing 20 with? So 20 is a number, so we need to compare it with another number. Right? So we define first that teenagers are those that fall within 13 and 20. So if this person's age, if Ada is what? How do we know if Ada is a teenager? Sorry? How do we know if Ada is a teenager? If Ada is 20, is she a teenager?
Yes.
If Ada is 19, is she a teenager?
Yes.
If Ada is 18, is she a teenager? If she's
Yes.
17, is she a teenager? So what logical operator will help us define that? Is it greater than?
Greater than or equal to. Less than or equal to.
Correct. So it's less than or equal to. Remember, I mentioned 20, I mentioned 19, I mentioned 18. So if it's less than 20 or equal to 20, then that person is a teenager. So when dealing with things like this, all you need to do is to look at the upper limits. We did lower and upper limits now, right? You guys know upper and lower limits. Okay, so you just need to look at the upper limit, which is in this case what? 20. So if it's less than or equal to 20, the person is a teenager. Is that fine? Yeah. So assuming we had maybe someone that was like 10, then we'll have another category that is maybe children. So in that case, when we're dealing with our if statement, we'll start from the upper limit of the children and say, oh, if it's less than maybe 10, that person is the child. So if it's less than 12, if it's less than 12, then that person is a child, right? So in this case, we can either use if it's less than 21 or if it's less than or equal to 20. Is that fine? Anyone? Sorry, ask me. So, how do we know if Ada is a teenager? If Ada is 21, is she a teenager? No. Right? But, so that's why I said it can be less than 21, or we can use less than or equal to 20. So both of them work. Does it make any sense? Yes, so that is depending on the operator you want to use, you're comfortable with. So if L7 is
Less than or equal to.
Or equal to, sorry, equal to what? 20. Let me put it, sorry, 20. So if it's true, then what is it? Teenager, right? What do you want to show? Teenager. Do we agree? Is anyone confused with what I just did? Please take your time to go through it.
No, okay.
Now you put equal to if, open bracket, if L7 is less than or equal to 20, comma, it should show teenager. No. Can I go on? So if it's true, what will it show? Teenager, right? But what's the next thing? If I put a comma, what's the next argument?
If.
What's the next argument? Value if false, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So if it's false, what will it be? So now I'm going to put another if statement. Please don't get confused. Can I go on?
Yes, sir.
Can I go on?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to put another if statement, open bracket. So what I'm doing is I'm actually nesting two functions together. So if it's we're not going to repeat the same thing. Logical test, value if true, value if false. No, I didn't close the brackets. Thank you very much. If L7, what do you think I'll put? Continue. No, it's almost the same thing. Don't look at the way we followed it. Just follow the same syntax. Nothing is changing. Tell me what to put.
Equal to or less than.
Less than or equal to what?
20.
Look at the time. 35.
Okay.
Do we agree? So what will it show? Young adult. And then I put it in quotes. Comma. If the value is false, what should it show? So remember, see, so this is how it works, right? What Excel is going to do is going to pick this value first, and it's going to walk through your formula. So the first thing it's going to do is going to first compare this value 20 with 20. If it's true, it will perform the very first action and discard whatever follows it. Does that make any sense? So if this is true, it will carry out the first action and discard the remaining actions. But if it's false, it will now move on to the next argument. And in this case, this next argument is another if statement, right? So if this is true, it will perform this and discard whatever is next. But if it's false, we're going to move to the next argument. And in this case, what is the last thing? If it's above 35, right? We can't see it. Okay. Now let's finish it and I'll zoom it. Because I can't zoom at this point. So if it's false, then it will just show elderly. Close bracket and close bracket. So let me zoom. So can you see it now? Can you see it? Should we do it again so you can see it? Sorry? It's very long. Okay, I should zoom it well. So you can decide to put an if statement, but you know that if it doesn't meet the first criteria, it doesn't meet the second criteria, the person has to be an elderly. Because remember, there are only 3 criteria. So you're either young, so you're either a teenager, a young adult, or elderly. So if you're not a teenager, then you're either a young adult or elderly. If you're not a teenager and you're not a young adult, you can only be an elderly. Or should we put ancient of days? All right. Very good question. So your open bracket must be equal to your closed bracket. So your closed bracket must be equal to the number of brackets you have open. You open 1, you open 2. So we have to close it to 10. You can see this red is for this one. And then this black is for this one. So that's why we have 2 brackets. Those online, any question? It's a lot to take you. I understand. What's that? Yeah, double brackets. The number of brackets you have open must be equal to the number of brackets you have closed. as well, Abby. Let me show you something. Okay, so I was trying to work on. So now look at this. This is an if statement. So you can say that once we're able to we're still warming up. I said, let me not scare you a little. Huh? Sorry? I should zoom it. What do you want to see? No, it's something personal. I cannot show you. I want to see how it's like. Okay. I don't ask me question and we'll change so we don't distract. Oh, okay. Um, where is Zoom? Stop sharing. So, all right, so you've seen it. Back to our class. Time has gone. We need to quickly tell you. So, do you have any questions so far? So, any questions so far? Should we try it again? So, let's just drag it down and see what happens. So, can we see those that fall under young adult and those that fall under elderly?
Yeah.
Do we understand this? All right. All right, so quickly, let me just explain something quickly. So, can we see how it is written, the teenager and the young adult? So what kind of casing will you call this? So this is like sentence case, right? Is it? Is this sentence case? Or small case? Upper case? Okay. So yeah, but when you look at these names, are they all in the same case? So you can see Jacob is all in small case. Jeremiah is in the small case, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now, if we want to convert it to the same case, so such that we want only upper case, what do we do? I like it, I press convert. The upper case. I've never seen it before. Please show me. Big A and small a. So if I press it to convert. It's not converting. Shift and okay. Shift and cap. Where is cap lock? Okay, cap lock. And nothing is happening. Still working your own. And try. All right. So basically, in Excel, there's actually a function that allows you to convert to uppercase. All these functions.
Shift and F3. Shift and F3.
Sorry, what did you say? Someone says shift F3. Shift F3 is not working now. So shift F3 will work if you're working with a Word document or a PowerPoint, but it won't work for Excel, right? So great guess, but that only works for PowerPoint and Excel. So if you're working with PowerPoint or Word, you can use shift F3. It will basically help you to convert to upper or lower. But when we're working with Excel, there's actually a function that allows you to convert to either upper, lower, or proper. So that's what we call it. The sentence case is called proper. And just like the name, equal to upper. So it's equal to upper, and then you reference it, and you press enter, and you have your uppercase. So I just need to mention that. So do we see this? Equal to, so the funny thing about Excel is that the words we usually use normally are basically the function names that they use for most of these things. So when I ask you a question, just think about the choice of words I use and return it back to me. So for lowercase, what do you think the function will be? Equal to what? Thank you very much. Equal to lower, open brackets. You're surprised you got it.
Said open brackets.
Oh, is that open?
He said open brackets.
Oh, equal to lower, then open bracket. That's what I mean. So equal to lower, open brackets, K7, and then you close brackets.
So I think that just get one of them. And you just think it's like K7 to K8 to the end to this.
Very good question. Yes. I've not tried it before. But let's see. I know it works for Google Sheet. I think it works for Google Sheet, but so is it K7 to K18, right? Let's see if it works. It didn't work. But if we convert to a table, it will work, right? We do table. We did table, right? Yeah. So if we convert to a table, then it will work. Do you remember when in the class? Yeah. So let's convert to a table and let's see if it would work. Equal to lower.
I'll go buy this later.
It looks like Excel has the answer for everything. So, any other question? Someone's mic is Jennifer, your mic is not muted. Let me mute you. All right. Any question? Many questions. I have a network issue. Oh yes, the class is being recorded. I thought network issue was one of the questions. I couldn't answer that. So any question based on what we've done so far? So if we wanted it in sentence case, what would it be? Proper, thank you very much. So the function will be proper, equal to proper, open bracket, and then close bracket. And then you have it proper. So proper basically means to capitalize the first word, and the other letters will be small letters. So you have upper, lower, and you also have proper. Is that fine? Yeah.
This
Lower, upper.
This one now, we made a mistake. Let's say we made a mistake. Somebody is small letter.
To continue here.
How I just make this one, this particular one is correct. So I do it.
Okay.
Okay, you just made a mistake.
So any other question? Oh, can I do the table again? So for the table, to convert to the table is Control T. Sorry. I select and then I select it and then I press Control T. So my table has header, ensure that this is ticked, and then click on OK. Basically. That's how you create your table. So is this fine? I think we've spent a lot of time here. Yes. So let's move on. So quickly, I'll touch on split. Wait, when was I supposed to end this class? 3 o'clock?
Yes.
Was it 3 or 3:30? So should we just end by 4? Or we should all go maybe 4:30? No. Because we actually have, so this class, you know, this training is supposed to run for 5 weeks. And 5 weeks ends when? Is it next week or tomorrow? Yeah, we'll be having class tomorrow. Yeah, virtual. On Zoom. That's what I did. 5 to 7. To 7. So if the Zoom does not work for you, let me see your hands down. Okay. Sorry, what's my prayer? So if it doesn't work for you, let me see your hands down. Okay, your hands down. So why does it not work for? But those online is working for them now. Okay, what is the suggestion? So you're suggesting we come early in the morning and then we run it for like 2. But of course we'll take break in between. So what do we do for those that don't want to come physically, for those online? So those online, please suggest to what is the solution? You see you have plenty of issues. No class tomorrow. So what do we suggest for those? But Sunday morning will not work for most people. So which Saturday? That's the issue. Every Saturday we have other classes. No, other courses. Let data analysis be the other courses should come. I've been fighting for that thing. That what you just said, I've been fighting for it. Unless people are ready to fight with me. Okay, so what I will do is, so he's actually the manager, Mr. Solomon. So he's one basically in charge. He's the academic director. So what I'll do is when I comes up with the calendar. So what I'll propose to him is, just like you mentioned, if we can have a specific day, basically where we'll run the full class. We have the class maybe for like 5 hours or 4 hours, and we have breaks in between. So we'll come in the morning and we're prepared to go home like maybe 2 or 3. Yes. So maybe I would propose it to him, then based on what he says, then we'll communicate a particular day that is feasible for us to have it. What do we think? And then for those that can, so we also have the online class, but for those that might not be able to join online, the class will be recorded too as well. So you can get to also listen to it. Hope that's fine for those online. So someone said that's cool. All right, so yeah, so hopefully when we have that class, I'm hoping that will be the last class, but I doubt if that will be the last class. Yeah, because let me just show you a few things that we have outstanding. So we still have VLOOKUP or data modeling. VLOOKUP. No, I'm just talking about the things we need to learn. So we still have VLOOKUP, we still have pivot table. No, we're already transitioning into data analysis. Yeah, and then also I didn't even touch on these things today. So we still need to touch on these things. Or can we just quickly wait? Let me just finalize this so that when we come next class, because throughout today, all I did was revision, really. Throughout today, it's just, huh? So I just wasted my time. All right, so I'll leave this class to your next class. So next class, we'll start from split. So immediately we come, I'm not going to go back to revise on anything. We'll start from splits. Then we'll look at splits. We'll look at how to create drop downs and data validation. Then after that, we'll look at pivot tables. After pivot tables, then we'll look at VLOOKUP. After VLOOKUP, then we'll analyze the full data. The 5 hours class, yeah. So then we'll look at how to analyze a data, basically using all the knowledge we've gathered over time. Is that fine? All right. So thank you everyone, and have a wonderful evening. See you next week. So also we're not in the hurry to graduate. All right, that is fine. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening.
Hello, please, are we done with the class? Are we done?
We are done. Oh, where have you been? Where did you go to?
Okay. I'm sorry.
All right, no problem. Yeah, we are done. So the next class is on Saturday.
When?
Yeah. Saturday, we're not having a class tomorrow.
Is it Zoom or physical?
It's going to be physical.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
All right, no problem.